Taxes, taxes, will you always haunt me? Will I always have to work in vain? You have caused me many tribulations. Taxes, taxes, you have taxed my brain.
7:38. Welcome to Income Tax Deadline Day. This is KDKA. I'm Larry Richard.
And I'm John Shumway. And if you're still crunching the numbers, we feel for you this morning. Hope they come out in your favor.
So we wanted to check in with an expert. Joining us on the Disk Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline is certified public accountant and principal of the McQuillan Group, Kevin McQuillan. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, John.
You know, Kevin, in days past, you get this mental image of the tax guy, you know, and the lights low, and they're crunching the numbers in the middle of the night. And in the old days, a cigarette would be burning in the ashtray, which probably doesn't happen anymore. But do you guys really work like around the clock leading up to this deadline?
You know, candidly, we work a lot, but I'm personally not around the clock. You start making mistakes. You certainly put a lot more hours in, and we are working, we work probably 6 days a week. I try to take a day off because you need to clear your head. With what we do, it's so technical. I think when you start to plow through like that, you're very apt to make mistakes. So you try not to. I'm sure it happens, but what I've found through the years is it's just better to, refresh a little bit and move on first thing fresh in the morning early.
And Kevin, since you started in this industry, there has been, technological changes that have really been game changers because almost everybody's filing electronically.
Correct. And, it continues to evolve. What we're starting to see now is, for years, people seem to be okay with the concept of having the IRS put a refund back in their checkbook to really expedite their refunds. But really we're reluctant to allow the IRS to take a payment out on the 15th, which is one of the things they can do, especially if you owe a decent amount of money and you're set up to have it come out today. You won't be late. You have an electronic trail. Yes, the IRS gets your money today, but people are always reluctant to do that. That's starting to change. I think people are finally agreeing that, hey, if the IRS can put money in, they certainly can take it out. And, we've had no issues that way. So I'm certainly recommending it to clients who have significant amounts of tax due.
I'm sure there is someone listening who owes money to the IRS and they simply don't have that much money right now. Is there such thing as a payment plan with the IRS?
There is. Most importantly, file your taxes if you have them completed. Send in what you can. There are several levels of penalties, but if you file your tax returns, that will greatly reduce any penalties owed on not filing. Then, of course, there'll be penalties on underpayment, but the IRS actually has a pretty regimented system where you can work out a payment plan, an installment plan with the IRS. And if you don't pay all your taxes today, within 30 days, usually you'll get a notice from the IRS. It's a Form 9465 that they will tell you, hey, do you want a payment plan? Yes, they will assess some penalties and interest, but if you pay it off over a reasonable period of time, they will work with you.
And I'm holding a Form 4868. This is for folks for the federal extension, and you don't really need any reason to extend, but you do have to guesstimate, to the best of your ability, if you owe what that might be, and send it in, correct?
Correct. And I usually recommended if you think you owe 100, pay 110. Cover yourself in case when you do your final calculations you're a little short and you maybe miss something. And this way, if you're overpaid, you can get that money back relatively quickly, or you can just apply it to 2015 and once again not waste money on any penalties or interest.
I know this sounds crazy, but you sent your taxes into your tax person and you haven't heard from them. It's tax filing day. Does the IRS take excuses? My tax person didn't get it done on time?
Yes, they will. If you can show that, it depends on your facts, of course, but if you can show your preparer just didn't respond or get something done or get it in on time without communicating with you, I think you can get relief from some penalties, but you do have to have, I would suggest if you haven't heard from your preparer, you certainly reach out to them today.
They'll be in hiding as of midnight.
In Barbados.
But things have changed, exactly. Kevin. In the old days, remember, They used to come out from the post office. People would be delivering pizza. There'd be long lines. But now that people are filing electronically, there's no need to do all that. In fact, the post office doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, I was just reminiscing about that. In my old office, used to look down Grant Street, and I'd see those long lines of cars dropping off and postal workers walking through with their baskets collecting returns. I'm not in town anymore, so I imagine that has all gone by the wayside. I know the hours are not as extended, and candidly, I don't think it's worth all that stress. There's a variety of ways you can send an extension today. If you have any software, it can be uploaded automatically. You can send the payment today and just postmark it. You can actually pay by credit card if you have a tax due. So you have a lot of options that don't involve getting into the melee of a last-minute rush to the post office.
We appreciate the last-minute advice. Now, what do? Sleep in tomorrow?
Going to take the day off, absolutely.
You
Spend it
should.
with my lovely bride.
Good.
Yeah, who's got a honey-do list for you the day after that?
Of course not. We're going to sleep the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you.
That's Kevin McQuillan, CPA and principal of the McQuillan Group on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline on KDKA.